All right, welcome back. We got DSVG versus 4 Loki. This is war number 11. And we got some new fights here. Same team. Cap, Wags, and X. And I got Killmonger again on Path 5. First note, I didn't use Wags because I'm saving it. I told my planner about 2-3 years ago that I didn't need it because I've obviously used it like all season. But I was like, for Killmonger, certain fights you don't really need it. Especially if you get a heavy counter. I do really like to have it because of obviously all the other stuff going on. With Killmonger, I mean, it's really not too necessary. It's nice if I can afford it, but same basic thing. Build 200 with my Fury. He actually had a resist right there, so I was like, oh. So here I'm at a perfect place. I'm at 100 charges, Fury's up, and that's all she wrote because he did not throw a special 2 with the indestructible charges up or anything. So I'm class boosted, so just SP3 cycle and we'll keep going from here on out. And the next fight I have, I don't remember who it is. Oh, I think I have Mephisto again. So I have Mephisto, I'm use Captain America, and again, just wait out the incinerate phase, and he's in a power gain, and he throws the SB1, hit it in my block to build kinetic charges, and just keep heavying him. Cap does a ton of damage with his heavy, so it's great. And he's a tank. So there you see a 20k, plus 20k because the first hit. Beat this in my block, just stay back. And boom, see, that's exactly why I dash away. Doing that protection's about to expire. And here, I'd made a mistake here. He was still in that regen mode, so I threw that, and I was like, so now I'm backing off. I'm like, the heck? Thought I was going to kill him, but it doesn't really matter. Back away again, and he will die. Oh my god, I remember this. Yeah, he resisted that. I could have just comboed him, and he would have been dead. So whatever. Freaking game. Here, I think this is the one war where I was just, Mojo and his power gain. You have no buffs of Defiance, which is great, but that power gain is still just something to mess with. And you're going to see how I'm heavying. I'm going to let the prowess build up. I should have heavied once and then just comboed. From here, I should have comboed those. They were doing a lot of damage, though. And so I threw that into the protection, but he's still going down. So now I have a power back boost, so he's dead. It's the next war where that comes into play. Now, I talked to my planner about this. I originally wanted to send a Wags when I was talking to him, a Magneto, red Magneto, but Wags can't do it. It's just power snack, and I get more buffs, obviously, if I'm attacking. So the plan was to just hit him when stunned, and White Magneto has a 15% reduced power combat. So when they're stunned, I also have Petrify Max, so she's not gaining a whole lot of power, and I can only hit her basically when stunned. So my Max Pacify and 70% AAR will stop Power Snack. She throws that SP1 like I want, perfect, and I'm going to throw the SP2 to get some degen damage. Boom. So we're looking good here. I needed to throw this SP2. Now I hit her under 50% on purpose, so backup recovery would not power gain, just regen, and I'm fine right here. She throws this SP1, clears her charges, and boom, and the power back boost with White Magneto is also great. So just slowly chipping away at her, about a minute and a half, less than a minute and a half, and she's down. So that was a great fight right there. I really liked how that played out. And now we got a I-Bomb on Path 5 again. I'm sure this is thrown here just to have to bring a poison immune. But again, Professor X doesn't make contact with his hits, so I get less chance of a poison being on me. And we've seen the fight go poorly. So now the plan is the PS1 and just ramp up. And he eats my falter there, which I don't like. So I have Max Petrify to limit his power gain as well. So Let's see. I don't have a poison. I'm getting really good RNG here. I got a petrify that I'm a heal from, so this is great. And now I'm at 100 charges. So now I just got to bait this. And he throws it. This is great. 1, 2, 3. Dash back. He doesn't play into it. I'm like, great. At this point, there we go. I get it. And it's just a SP3 cycle at this point. You know, talking through these videos, I wish I did kind of skip the SP3. But actually, I don't kick SP3 out of that, so that's new. But the SP2 does way more damage than the SP3, so it kicks me back to the SP3, and this does kill him. I got Rintrot on Ebb and Flow, Intercept with Mighty Charge, so I'm going to Wags it, and I'm going to use Cap. And I got to keep knocking him down because of his mechanics. I don't want to be in his corner or my corner. I don't want to get rooted, so it's just, you know, it's a little different. Got to get that Intercept to do some real damage. And I heavy him. He's got some crit resistance, so it's kind of annoying. That SP2 right there only did about 20k, so I was like, man, it's not what I wanted. And he gets power gain off of when you dex, even with Defiance, because obviously you would still get the buff, but he's immune. So he's got definitely some different mechanics. And here I throw it and I get a nice chunky crit, and it was good to see that because I was actually curious to see if I could crit against him. Like, Man-Thing reduces it completely, but this fight was smooth. That's good to know for next time. Now that this fight, so I got a buddy in DSVG, and I didn't want to die this war. I don't want to die any war, but I totally played this scared. And I haven't seen Fury on this node. He's usually in the first section off of the knockdown one for obvious reasons, because he goes stun immune, so he's harder to knock down. But the plan was to build to a special 3, and you know, and I had two options. I have to, if I go special 3 rotation, I have to wait for him to regen and start degenning in order for me to throw my other special 3. Otherwise, he's going to heal it all back. I've done that in the past. So here, I'm not really worried about the intercept. And what I should have done is I should have done damage. I should have got the intercept. And see how I really start doing damage with the Fury now. And I'm like, that's what I really should have done. And killed his first decoy and then you know, ended him. So here, I'm like, all right, fine. I did some damage. I don't want to get to see right there. I didn't even bait him into a backdraft, even though I have my my Falter to protect me. So now the fight's going, and I'm like, okay, well, now I'm pushing into that special 2, so I'm dexing it. He's not throwing it, and I'm like, 2 minutes have gone, and I eat this. My Falter saves me, and I'm like, oh my god. You know what? I don't need to be doing this. Let me get intercept and just kill him. And I'm telling myself what to do. Make sure he regens before I throw the other special. I want to throw him to throw this. So I have my Fury because I got to intercept just by not by wanting to. And I'm like, great. I need to get this. I don't want him to throw a special 1. So I'll heavy intercept him, and I do. And I throw it, and I'm like, all right, perfect. Don't mess this up. And this is like my last kind of danger fight for this war. And I'm like, all right, first decoy is dead. And there. Now I just gotta throw this. And so far so good. Do a ton of damage. And things are going good. Should have noticed right there he regened a little bit, and that was probably a red flag, but I didn't. I just was like, great, I'm doing damage. And here should have been dead. I thought he was dead, and I was like, oh, what? And I had a special 2. I mean, it just sucks. So I didn't invul boost for this. If I would have, I would have survived. But I ended up killing him. I didn't record it, but it was just really frustrating. My first death of the season in like 70-something fights. So I was really mad. This is Mordo on Vigilance. I'm a PS1 boost. And basically just same thing as Mixed Master. But here I actually could have just parry heavied. Yeah, so anyways, I need to get to 100 charges. Sorry, I was just thinking that death really bothers me. It was my first death of the season. So Mordo's obviously resist, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna tank this because he's holding block, and I don't want his energy resist to be massive. So I'd rather eat this and then get a parry if I can. But I don't. I just I go right into this, and I start chipping away at him, and he ends up dying from it. I don't think I pop out of the SB3 into an SB2. Nope, I don't. He ends up dying. Pretty simple placement. The Vigilance Mini is great for X because he can't miss, and he mind controls them. So you just have to get to your special 3, and you're kind of like done. And then we got Sassy on Conflictor. Again, PS1 boost, and push him to an SB2, bait it, and I'll be at 100 charges in an SB3, and that's it. So heavy, and then medium heavy, and we're good. Vigilance is key though for the miss global. So, and bait this. Just don't want him to go into Wrath, like so I can stun him. And that's really what I was thinking right here. So not going medium heavy, and that's all she wrote. I think we ended up winning this war. So it's been a good season so far. It's been fun. Definitely learning a lot with these guys, and just trying to do my part, like I said, and just keep it going. Got one war left. It just really sucked to die. Really sucked. I think after this war, I was like at 80 fights with one death or so, 70.